Today you press a button, water rushes down, everything disappears, and you never think about it again. But for most of human history, that button did not exist. There was no porcelain bowl, no bathroom fan, no little roll of toilet paper waiting politely on the wall. So what did humans actually do before toilets? The answer is much worse than you think, but also much smarter. For early humans, the first toilet was probably just distance. You walked away from camp, found a private spot, used leaves, grass, water, stones, or whatever was nearby. Then you came back and hoped nobody asked questions. This worked when humans lived in small groups. The problem started when people packed themselves into towns, because now everyone was doing the same thing, in the same place, every day. Suddenly, poop was not just a private problem, it was a city planning problem. Some people used pits in the ground. A wooden seat went over the pit. A little hut went over the seat, and now you had an outhouse. Simple, smelly, but functional. Other people used chamber pots, which were basically bowls kept inside the house, sometimes under the bed. This sounds disgusting, but imagine waking up in winter in a freezing dark room and realizing the only toilet is outside. Suddenly the bowl under the bed makes more sense. The problem was what happened after. Someone had to empty it, and in crowded cities that sometimes meant throwing it into the street. A person could be walking below your window, then suddenly history happened to them. In some places people shouted a warning first, in other places they did not. But humans were not just being stupid, they were trying to solve a problem with the tools they had. In ancient Rome, some public toilets were surprisingly advanced. There were long stone benches with holes in them. People sat side by side. No stalls, no privacy, just neighbors, strangers, and a very uncomfortable amount of eye contact. Under the seats, water carried waste away through drains. It was clever. It was public. And it was absolutely not a place for shy people. But even Rome did not give everyone a private flushing toilet. Most people still relied on chamber pots, cesspits, public latrines, or someone paid to haul the mess away. These workers were sometimes called night soil men, because they came at night, with carts, to collect what nobody wanted to look at during the day. And here is the strange part. This waste was not always treated like trash. It was valuable. Farmers used it as fertilizer. So the thing people were desperate to remove from the city could help grow food outside it. The entire system was gross. But it was also a cycle. The city produced waste. Workers carried it away. The fields used it. The fields grew food. And the food came back to the city. The problem was that this cycle broke when cities got too crowded, cesspits overflowed, streets stank, waste leaked into water, and people often drank from the same rivers and wells that waste was draining into. For centuries, humans lived with a problem they could smell, but did not fully understand. They knew filth was bad. They did not yet understand germs the way we do now. So the modern toilet was not just a convenience, it was a quiet revolution. It moved one of the most dangerous parts of human life out of sight, out of the house, out of the street, away from drinking water, and into a system built to handle it. That is why the toilet feels boring now, because when technology works perfectly, it disappears. You press a button, the problem vanishes. But behind that button is thousands of years of holes, pots, pits, carts, streets, rivers, bad smells, and terrible jobs. So the next time a toilet flushes, remember this. For most of history, humans did not have bathrooms. They had a problem. And civilization was partly built by figuring out where to put it.